Glad to have you join us on this edition of the show. Our guest is passionate about building high-growth companies, and he joins us to share his thoughts on how African startups can scale. Our tech tips is on 4 Facebook tricks you can try out. And our app of the week helps recreate cherished memories. We have much more lined up for you, but first, enjoy our tech news and updates. This is Tech Trends, and I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.
Over the past years, successive governments have strived to tackle Nigeria's energy shortage problem, even after the privatization of the sector. As a result of the energy crisis in the country, Anele Iro and his team, in a research facility in Yaba, Lagos, claim to have come up with an innovation called zero electricity air conditioning, which he says is the first of its kind. After thinking of alternative ways of cooling for many years, Iro started analyzing his energy needs in Lagos, Nigeria. He realized that 90% of the energy he needed goes to cooling, and saw that in hot and humid climates, 70% of the energy needed on a daily basis goes to cooling. The invention is a material that uses water as a reactant to dehumidify and cool a room or space, indoor or outdoor.
This is the cooling cylinder. This is what does the job. Okay, the temperature is damn too low. Okay, so what happens is that the air within this space, which is warm, okay, keeps going down as it strikes the body of this cylinder. Okay, so that way we feel cool within this space. All right, so but because we went through research, there is need to capture parameters like temperature, humidity, dew point, wet bulb temperature, a whole lot of them. What we have here is Arduino. Okay, so with this Arduino, we interfaced the sensors and we are moving data to the computer for logging and of course for monitoring as well. All right, so you may want to see the data we have right now on the screen. The first column here is for the cylinder. Okay, so right now the cylinder is at 24 degrees Celsius. Okay, the near space, and then we have the temperature outside.
This cooling system is composed of the aircon cylinder that provides the cooling and dehumidification or humidification, and plants that draw moisture while digesting carbon dioxide and other gases in the air from the force of attraction to air from the cylinders. Iro sees the recycling industry as the next really big thing in the future, and adds that he is working on rolling out the biotechnology to the market very soon.
As the booming bike-sharing economy sweeps China, randomly parked bikes have become a real headache. Its neighboring country Japan solved this problem by an underground bike storage system where bikes could be stored and retrieved automatically. It's public and capable of parking up to 204 bikes in a 50 square meter area at one time. Scores of such underground facilities should help eliminate the trouble and annoyance of bicycle parking on pavements and even clustering streets in Beijing, London, Amsterdam and New York. A single push of a button starts the operation of this science fiction movie-like smart system for bike parking known as EcoCycle. This one here is built 11 meters deep into the ground. It takes 13 seconds on average to park or retrieve a bike. Once into the silo, the mechanism goes from sci-fi to high-tech, and the silos are not only emission and theft-free, but earthquake-proof as well as effortless. The system not only beautifies the streets, but also saves precious urban space for land-scarce megacities like Tokyo. Because of their pleasant and smart usefulness, such underground bike parking silos have so far scattered to 18 Japanese cities. They take some 2 months to build with a cost of $1.35 million a piece on average. Google has fired the engineer behind the anti-diversity gender gap memo that reignited heated debate over treatment of women in Silicon Valley, including a string of sexual harassment scandals. The dismissal comes after an internal company memo that alleged huge gaps in representation between men and women in the tech industry were due to biological differences. The Google engineer James Damore confirmed his dismissal to reporters and says he's exploring legal measures in response. The 10-page document titled Google's Ideological Echo Chamber circulated last week. It claims women prefer jobs in social or artistic areas, while more men may like coding, and that this split in personality was due to genetics rather than culture or societal constructs. It also states biology is why fewer women are found in leadership roles, and that we need to stop assuming gender pay gaps implies sexism. It ignited a firestorm in Silicon Valley, which has been under intense scrutiny in recent months regarding its lack of diversity. Less than a third of Google's global employees are women, and the number is much lower in its tech and management divisions. A string of sexual harassment suits at other tech companies, including Uber, has only fanned the flames. Google's leadership told its employees that Damore crossed the line and advanced harmful stereotypes. But earlier this year, the U.S. Department of Labor said pay gaps of the tech giant appeared to be systemic. A Wisconsin vending machine company offered its employees a chance to have a microchip implanted in their hands that they could use to buy snacks, log into computers, or use the copy machine. According to Tony Dana, Vice President of International Sales at the River Falls-based company, about 50 employees at 3 Square Market agreed to the optional implant of the chips, which are the approximate size and shape of a grain of rice.
This is non-GPSable. However, there is just as much interest from parents with young kids that want to be able to implant their children with a GPS chip.
However, some were wary of the new technology.
I'd just like to know more about the long-term health effects.
The company, which employs 85, says it was the first in the United States to offer staff the technology, which is similar to that used by contactless credit cards and chips used to identify pets. The implants made by Sweden's Biohacks International are part of a long-term test aimed to see if the radio frequency identification chips could have a broader commercial application. At a chip party, employees had the device inserted between their forefinger and thumb using a syringe-like instrument.